Sunday. And today, we're unpacking the dramatic aftermath of the 2026 FIFA World Cup finals. Spain are the new world champions, but the headlines did not stop with the final whistle. We will examine Kylian Mbappe's remarkable World Cup campaign as the French superstar continues to rewrite football history with another record-breaking tournament that further cements his place among the game's all-time greats. We'll also take a hard look at the controversial post-match conduct involving members of the Argentina camp after the final whistle. What exactly happened? Did emotions get the better of the defeated finalists, and what disciplinary action, if any, should FIFA consider? Joining me to unpack this major talking point is one of the sharpest football minds in the country, Jackson Caleb from Port Harcourt. Stay with us as we separate fact from emotion, celebrate footballing excellence, and debate the moment that have the entire football world talking. Grab your teacup because P&B Sports start now. No gimmicks, no distraction, just pure unfiltered sport action.
Diogo Dalot, he pulls the ball then. That is outstanding!
Make the P&B Sports Show part of your weekday routine.
Philogene in the penalty area, twisting and turning. He tries to flick it towards goal.
Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Make the P&B Sports Show part of your weekday routine.
Into Osimhen.
30 minutes of breaking headlines, in-depth analysis, match preview, one explosive hour of fearless opinion, heated debate, and non-stop football conversation. Weekdays at 9 a.m., Saturdays at 1 p.m. Stay ahead of the game.
Bellingham, England coming again. It's Harry Kane and Bellingham.
Only on Politics and Business Television, where sport comes alive.
Imagine say television, movies, news, and entertainment dey your pocket, just like that. Welcome to Free TV app. Now the #1 digital TV app for Nigeria. Free TV app get over 100 live TV channels, breaking news.
To break, because as it stands, Mbappé has 22 World Cup goals in 22 games. Mbappé has 22 World Cup goals in 22 games. So pairing the goals and the games again shows you how much goals and the games again shows you how much of a player Mbappé is. It shows you how much of a classical player Mbappé is. And not just that, he's an exceptional finisher. Mbappé gets the ball and finishes them exactly. So I think Mbappé is operating at a prime level right now. A kind of level that once he begins to score, he doesn't stop scoring.
Okay, well said. Looking at the screen now, what is displayed there, his first ever appearance in the World Cup when he was 18, he scored 4 goals. That was 2018. Now 2022, he scored 8 goals, which makes it I think 12 or thereabout. Then 2026, he scored 10 goals. That's 3 World Cup accumulatively. He has scored 22 goals. Then looking at the large, I want to compare him with Messi now, but I don't like to do that. But let me just do that. Compare him with Messi or with the Ronaldos. If I can get if they can place the all-time goal scorer record in the World Cup, if my producer can do that, you will see that he takes Messi a long time to get to that feat, which is 21, this is his last World Cup. My own opinion. Then if you look at the setting, okay, I think that's it. We have Lionel Messi 21 goals. Before now, we have Kylian Mbappé 20. Okay, that was this one. This is because before the finals. This is because the finals. But looking at it all together, I think Mbappé has done so well with this short period of time hitting this mark. But going forward and looking at what Mbappé has done these 2 seasons, he has won the highest goal scorer, the Golden Boot, in Champions League, in La Liga, in World Cup, but without a trophy. Does that speak volume?
I think the question should be: is there a problem with him or the team? And then again, this boils down to the team. Because looking at Mbappe's profile of player, he is born to score goals. Definitely, Mbappe is going to give you 20 goals plus every season. When you take a look at PSG, he was always scoring for them, the Champions League, Coupe de France, and Ligue 1. But now, coming to the La Liga, it's a different ball game, especially under the fleet and the team. But now, Mbappe is scoring goals, but the team itself cannot carry on the league. Now, we saw Real Madrid shuffle between two different coaches. And for me, I felt Xabi Alonso was the better of the managers because he had a 63 percentage win just before he left Madrid. He coached within a period of 27 games, I think lost only 3, and then drew about 8 and won the remaining. So that again shows you that there was a different team structure that was coming up for Mbappe. However, Mbappe was still able to deliver. Now, I think, like, if we look at in the Champions League, after beating Man City, going into the game against Bayern, we all knew it was going to be a very tough game for Real Madrid, especially with the light of the midfield that they had. Bayern had a better midfield structure and a better defensive shape, which was what at the end of the day destroyed Bayern Munich. So my own concern is how can this team make it not look like Mbappe is working for himself? Because at the end of the day, we are going to see situations where Mbappe gets the goal, gets the headline, and the team doesn't get to win, or the team doesn't get to secure a trophy, and then all the blame goes to Mbappe. Mbappe cannot do all the work for you. Mbappe cannot do everything that you want the team to do. Mbappe cannot man mark. Mbappe cannot drop deep. We even saw him in the World Cup providing assists. And that was even a level of improvisation, improvement to his game as a player. So I think he's even trying to get more involved in the game, which he cannot definitely do everything. Even if he gets involved, there's a certain level he can get involved to. So I think it is also for the team to play much of their own responsibility coming into this next season.
Indeed, and I think is the team need to step up because, to be honest, arguably he has done his best. His job is to score goals. That's it, and I think he has done that. He has been scoring. Other people need to step up and do their own job to defend or to do other things. You get, and a certain maker also, which have done so well. I think it's Pele that have that record highest assist so far. I think it's 6. But this World Cup, Michael Olise was able to get 7 assists, which makes him one of the highest so far in he break that Pele's record. We break that. That is it on the screen. I think this record has been the long-standing record from Pele 1970 World Cup. Pele got 6 assists, but Olise make a certain I said Olise. Michael Olise. I don't know. I always confuse that name. Michael Olise. A certain Michael Olise had to break that record this World Cup. I think what the performance from the French side individually, they've done so well. But the problem is translated into the. Well, now that Zidane is taking over, do you see Zidane doing it better than Deschamps?
Well, to be honest, I think it's going to be a bit difficult considering how the midfield of the French is going to be. Like I said earlier, this was a time where Didier Deschamps could have made the best of Kante, knowing that age is not on his side. Despite the fact that he's 34, this is a time where a midfielder can still perform for you, a midfielder of his caliber. So this was the time where, especially in those games going forward in the quarterfinals, you needed someone like Kante and the experience. I mean, I've always been saying this would probably have been one of the difference if they needed to go far. The level of experience you have on the pitch also determines how far you can go. Sorry to drive us back. Look at this Argentina side. I keep saying that one of the reasons why they were able to progress easily, or rather they were able to win matches, was because of the level of experience they carried from the 2022 World Cup. They understood that, and 8 of the 11 players were always starting the same matches to show that these players knew what needed to be done at various stages of the match. So I think for today, Zidane will be coming in with a different mentality. However, I think it is time that he looks at the midfield and decides what to do with it, how to fix it, how to get a hold of the football around here. Because if he's going to face a team like Spain again, probably in the Euros, That is exactly what they are going to do. Except he's going to find a way to outscore them or outplay them. Because I think if a team can outplay you in the midfield, then you should find another alternative to outplay them. So, but coming in, trusting his level of experience by his playing style and being a manager in the few years we have seen, I think he might be able to do a good job for the French team.
Indeed, he will be able to do a good job for the French team. But it's time for us to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the aftermath of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. After the final whistle, what transpired with Argentine national team, what really happened on the pitch, why the attack after a very good campaign, my own opinion, why the attack on the Spaniards. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. No gigments, no distractions, just pure unfiltered sport action.
Diogo Dalot, he pulls the ball then.
Part of your weekday routine.
Into Osimhen.
30 minutes of breaking headlines, in-depth analysis, match preview, and the stories every sport fan needs to know. And when Saturday arrives, we take things to another level. Get ready for balls of fire, heated debate, and non-stop football conversation. Weekdays at 9 a.m., Saturdays at 1 p.m. Stay ahead of the game. Welcome back, it's CPMB Sports Show reaching live from the nation's capital. And of course, the ever insightful Jackson Caleb, all the way from Port Harcourt, is still with us in the show and has been giving us in-depth analysis on what transpires in the just concluded World Cup, FIFA World Cup. But Caleb, let's move over to the finals. What transpired after the final whistle, looking back at the 2022 FIFA World Cup aftermath from Martinez.
The whole issue was not really because of the individual awards. Like we saw towards the end of the match, tempos were already rising. We could see some confrontations being done, most especially between Paredes and I'm trying to remember, and some Munoz. So you see after the game, I think some words were being said to Otamendi while trying to address Rodri. Then someone pushed Paredes from behind, and then these Argentines, you should know, they fight more than they play. Exactly, it's their blood. So they took up very angrily, and then the Spaniards too have some young and arrogant flesh people. So from confrontations to confrontations, and then it gets heated. And then even before Scaloni came to intervene, words were already being thrown around, actions were already being shown. So that again shows the confrontation, and you could see from the Argentine level, they were already petrified with the red card and everything that was going on with the game. So we could see that there was already a slight indication even before the final whistle that this was going to happen. It just needed the final whistle before it could finally happen.
But I think the Spaniard gets into the skin of or the head of the Argentine even when that game was on, because you could see that the second half they were just the tackles were just too much and they were so physical. But the question I want to ask you now is, where is the boundary between the intense South Americans football passion and outright misconduct? Because I think when we say it's normal with the South Americans, they are very hostile or they are very physical. But where is that boundary? Where will FIFA draw that boundary? Because I don't think we will need to get to see this kind of thing on a global stage like this tournament.
Okay, I think for the thin line, there are certain actions that you do that will show, like Paredes now, he didn't throw a punch. I was watching out and I watched the video again. He dragged the bib. He dragged the bib of the player, which took him to the ground, but he didn't throw a punch. He didn't hit him on the face. Most importantly, those two actions are actions that would consider how violent the conduct was. And then on the Spanish side, hitting Otamendi on the chest, he didn't hit him with a glue. He only tried to, push him away as a form of disengaging from the argument, in which Otamendi replied back. None of them punched each other on the chest or above. So those little actions are the line that can be drawn between these confrontations and violent conduct. However, I think we have all known that this is Argentine's nature. I think they have this uncontrollable anger, most especially when it gets to the mental games. they are not so good at controlling themselves mentally. We saw the same thing happen in the 2022 World Cup against Netherlands. And against Netherlands were able to outbully these boys because the Netherlands were well prepared for the mental games, although they lost the penalties. So these mental games, I think this is where Scaloni needs to fit his players in. He needs to teach them a lot. Because imagine doing this kind of thing and Mourinho was your Mourinho would know how to handle them. Mourinho would tell his players what to do. They will, in fact, Mourinho will be able to tell them to tackle the players and the other players will fall into the trap and eventually
don't you think the fine that they will give to these guys, even the one they gave them last time, actually is not enough? Don't you think they need to do more, not just 2-match ban, 3-match ban? They should pay heavily for this. And this is something that they need to frown at, because a lot of people are coming and looking. These guys are global stars. People are looking up to them. So if you are fighting on the pitch, probably because of a slight provocation or because you couldn't keep your tempo down or your emotion, I beg your pardon, down, then there's a disconnect somewhere. So I think FIFA need to step in. My own opinion, but I want to get yours. Don't you think FIFA need to give a heavy hammer on that?
I think FIFA needs to do better in the sense that we saw the fine that they gave to Senegal after walking off the pitch. And then coming into the World Cup, they even used that antecedent to make one of the declaratory rules that walking off the pitch amounts to a certain level of ban and fine. So looking at this, I think the nation itself should be fined and the players too. You cannot just say, okay, you want to fine the players, fine the nation. By the time you say, oh, having displayed a violent conduct and a gross misconduct coming off the pitch after the World Cup, we ever fine Argentina with the sum of, let's say, €1 million, which is obviously a huge sum, and you can even ban them from playing in the next Copa America, which is definitely going to pain them because they were the defending Copa America champions. So imagine not having to defend your title, which automatically means that you have lost your title even before the game started. And then each of the players would suffer a 3-match ban in their respective leagues. So I think giving such huge punishments or making those punishments very